Okay, this is where it begins. In the software, I have my drawing, and I have all these tool paths over here that represent different router bits that can affect the wood. And this white area is the board that I'm going to be cutting on, and I'm going to cut 2 boards out. And so I'll show you kind of, how it happens. So I'm going to do the front side of the board, and we'll preview the tool paths, and it'll show you drilling the holes, cutting the G out, the S, and drilling all those holes, and then finally cutting the board out. And then if I look at the back side of the board where I'm doing the pockets, that's what I'm going to do first. So I'll cut those pockets out, and that's where the pegs go, and then these little holes are for the magnets. And I'll send this over to the CNC machine, and I'll videotape that. So here we have the CNC machine, and that board with the blue lines in it, those are tracks, is the spoil board. And then I have a piece of oak sitting on top of it. So now what I'm going to do is figure out the height or thickness of that board. So the machine goes down and touches off that pad, which I don't know if you can see the pad because of this. Then it comes down here and touches off this other pad. And now as I change router bits, it always knows where the surface of the wood that I'm working on is. So I also have to find the very corner of the wood that all my work is based off of. So I have the router bit right above that corner, and so over here in the software I can see there, maybe now you can read the zeros up here. Now I load the code that I created from the other computer, and so I have the back of the board, and it shows me a picture over here of what I'm going to be cutting, so I can kind of look at that and make sure that I have the right thing selected. So now the router bit's going to come over here and touch off again. So I press go on the computer, and it's going to start cutting. So now it's roughed out where the G is, and I'm going to use a different bit to carve some profiles. Okay, so now we're going to use this big 90-degree V-bit. Okay, the G is carved. Now we're going to use a 60-degree V-bit. Okay, now it's time to drill all the little bitty peg holes. finally we're done. We're going to cut the boards out. Okay, so it's all done. Just have to release the clamps. Set the boards free. You can see where it went through over in this section, maybe, and not over here. And that's how I know my table is not level. So there they are. A lot more work to get them ready to go.